I'm using Claude AI with Fusion 360, and look at these crazy 3D models I'm creating here. It's complete bananas. And what's super exciting about this is like the best time in history where a person who has the actual problem can be given the information and the resources to help solve it. Let me show you my journey here. So this is the initial prompt I used here, which is show me the equation for a conical helix. Tell me if you can make that an equation I can put in Fusion 360 so I can create a conical helix. And look at this. It gave me these beautiful equations here. It showed me the parameters. It told me that it felt it could do it. Real quick here, I had a couple false starts. We made a big leap when it asked for the diagnostic script, which I don't even know what that means. But then it gave me this code here. And so all I had to do was I had to copy this here and then jump over to Fusion. And then we're going to do S to bring up shortcuts. We're going to type add, which is scripts and add-ins. And then for this cone spring here, we're going to back up here. So what I did was I hit plus and we did create a script or add-in. And so I will call this coil spring 2D. And then the author is me and Claude. And this is where it'll save it. We'll hit create. And what we do next is we jump into here and it opens up this file here. We'll go here to this Python folder file. Now, I downloaded software to do this, but to tell you the truth, this is all you need to do. This was the copy from over here at Claude. This copy went right into that. Actually, we're going to double check that I didn't lose that. Yeah, looks like it's there. So we're going to close out of that. We're going to close out of this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just play. And look at that. Now it gave me that error message, but this is completely stunning, right? So now what this gives me the ability to do is I can sketch onto this and we can start a sweep. So we'll press P. We're going to project geometry to just make sure it gets there. And we're going to jump into our rectangle. We'll do a center. And look at this. We're just going to do a finished sketch here, rotate it around, and let's do our sweep. So this is our profile, and we're going to pick our path. This is completely blown my mind. I'm basically designing a element for an electric stove, right? How it spirals out. Something that I never thought in 100 years I could be able to design, right? And I don't love how I have to select each little segment, but again, I only spent a few hours on this, and that's the power of Claude here. Now, I did try to directly hook in Claude to Fusion 360, but the issue was the MCP kept on dropping, and so it was saying to put the code directly in. Before we get too deep in the weeds, I just want to show you that this option exists. You can come down here to coil, and you can make your own spring. So in this instance here, we have a spiral. You can change to whatever parameters make more sense to you. But let's look at what I made. So what I did was, since I was so happy with the first one, this is literally the prompt I gave it. I said, it worked. Now let's do X, Y, and Z coordinates. And so It described it in a pretty amazing way. I even asked it for little hints as to what I could plug in the system to get it going. And it it was like, "Oh, yeah, we just need these few changes here." So then I drop down here. This is the code it wrote, and it's pretty good. I wish it was a little bit better, but again, for a few hours of time, I just hit copy, like this, and then I drop that in to a new add-in like we saw earlier. Same thing as earlier, which was I created a script and then I dumped the code into that Python file. Let's type, I typed in S to pull up the shortcuts. We're going to go to the scripts and add-ins. Here's the cone spring with Z axis, and we're going to follow the prompts here. 5 for the radius. It's going to grow 2 millimeters. 6 revolutions is fine. And here's the new one, the total height. We'll do 50. Let's see how that goes. And 200 points for our smoothness. And look, it's created this for us. I mean, I couldn't have created this on my own here. Let's turn on the origin real quick. And let's just make sure we're happy with that one there. We're going to sketch on this surface. I typed C. That's not pulling up. So I'm going to hit P for project. So that's going to bring that point to this plane. Typed C for circle. We'll start it at point 2. That's fine. We're going to hit finish sketch. And let's jump over to our sweep. So for our profile, we're going to pick you, and then our path. Look at that. It can start spiraling right away, which is super exciting. And watch, since it's kind of so steep, you can see the third dimension right there. I don't like that you have to pick each segment, but it's really exciting though. And I can play around with the taper angle. So look at this. I'm going to add a degree. So each time it's getting 1 degree bigger, which is super fun to me. If you want to see how hard I've worked at it, this one here, look at this. I just keep adding to this one. It's completely stunning. And I'm very excited with AI. I think what AI can accomplish is it can push the abilities and the technical help to the actual person with the problem. And we're now entering an era where people closest to the problem can start designing solutions. And that is super exciting to me.